What was your beginner stage like?
Wow, that was too bad because there's something even as an instructor right now. I noticed that no matter how good you are, even as a dancer or non-dancer, you have to salsa. We have to disgrace you first before you get the movement right. I had to understand that by force as an instructor because I tried my best to break movements down to my students.
Hey, all right. So I am now on the line with a Mr. Akorede Oyerogba and
Yeah,
uh, Obira. Is that right?
perfect.
Yes,
Yes.
perfect.
Yeah, shucks. Okay.
Good.
Um, so you two are both award-winning professional Latin and ballroom dancers, as well as instructors. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
You both currently live in Nigeria, born and raised in Nigeria. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
correct.
Awesome. And you two have been dancing together since 2010. Is that correct?
You said?
So you two have been dancing together since 2010.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct.
Is awesome. That's awesome. How are you two doing today?
We're good.
We're good. We're great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I guess I really wanna start this interview out. I am very curious to hear about, both of your childhoods growing up in Nigeria. What was your childhood like growing up in Africa?
Okay. I'll start with me. Okay. So my childhood was, should I say normal, like every normal Nigerian child. But I think there was this spice because growing up, I did a whole lot of funny things. Like I sold pure water. Do you know pure water?
What is that?
Like
No, what is
pure water.
oh like water, pure
You
water.
know we have the bottled water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, can you give me this plastic? I'll show you. So now this is the bottled water. Now there's the sachet water,
The one you put in nylon and
the one you
all
put
of
in
that.
nylon. Yes. So we have the sachet water in Nigeria. So if you can't afford this, you go for the sachet one.
And
Okay.
was that your job? What would you have to do?
Yes, that was what I had to do growing up in Nigeria. Yes. So I sold pure water and it was fun because I saw it as, something you need to do to get going. Like you need to hustle, and growing up in Lagos, you need to be a hustler. You can't just be there. You have to hustle really hard.
Yeah.
I understand that. I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
And so,
So
yeah, and so, wait, what part of Nigeria are you from?
I'm from the East, Anambra State. Yes,
And so,
but
and so,
I live in
uh, and so, tell
Lagos.
me this: what did I guess what did your parents do?
Oh, nothing. They supported it. It was the normal thing to do. Every Nigerian child, especially a child that lives in Lagos, knows you have to hustle. Lagos is an hustle city. So nobody is questioning you. Everybody just feel, yeah, that's the normal thing. So it's like a normalized thing.
And so, I guess what I mean is, what job did your parents have? What was their job?
Oh, okay, okay. So my mom used to be a petty trader, and my dad was just into different businesses, petty businesses too, because he had just retired from the banking job he was doing. So he was into petty businesses here and there, shoes, clothes, just petty. So I was doing my own, supporting them with my pure water business.
Alright. And how many siblings do you have?
I have two sisters, two sisters, plus me. That's three.
Sure enough, sure enough.
Yeah,
And I'm curious,
Hey kid, come here. Hey, if you could leave a like and subscribe, that would be amazing for the channel. Let's
sure
get back
enough.
to the show.
yeah.
And I'm curious. I'm curious. What about you, Akorede? What was your childhood like growing up in Nigeria?
Wow, my childhood is awesome. At the same time, it's very, 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 very difficult because I'm the only child from my parents, and I didn't grow up under them. I grew up under my grandparents, and it's been difficult to try to put one or two things together, but it's been good. It's been good to, and I'm the only child, so I don't have any story for who are the people that are always there for me, and I'm always the God is always there for me. God is always there,
Hey.
but
Okay,
I
man.
won't lie,
That's
it's been
intense.
difficult,
Uh,
but
I understand,
God is
man.
great.
Let me. I want to ask you both this. Growing up in Africa, what were some of your childhood hobbies? What did you enjoy doing?
Childhood habit. Ooh. What kind of habit are you talking about?
All right. What did you do for fun?
For fun.
Yeah.
Uh, say anything for fun.
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
I love playing table tennis.
Oh, I love to tennis too.
I love table tennis. That's one of my childhood
Mm.
game. I
Wait,
love
wait.
playing it sometimes.
You said
Sometimes they'll
ten.
send me.
You
Is
said
that
tennis. You said tennis. What game?
Yes.
table tennis? Table
Yeah.
tennis.
Oh, like
Tennis.
ping pong. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you
So
good at it?
sometimes they will send me an errand, to go and get something. Man, they can send me that errand around 8 o'clock thereabouts in the morning. But I will on my way going. I will branch to play table tennis. By the time I'm coming back, is like maybe like 4 o'clock in the evening. So
Good.
the thing is, when I get back, I know that they're going to beat my ass out, but I don't mind for the game. I'll do it.
Wait. So wait, are you good at table tennis? Are you good?
Are you good at table tennis?
Yeah, of course I am. I'm good.
He says he's good. I
If,
don't know.
if not for the love of dancing, I think another thing I should be doing is table tennis. I love
No,
it so much.
I don't
That's
believe that. He's supposed to be keeping. He's supposed to be a keeper. He loves to keep. He keeps a lot.
okay. We gotta. When I come to Nigeria, man, we're gonna play a game. All right.
No
Uh-huh.
problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
And so what about you, Nneka? What were some of your
Yeah.
hobbies?
Okay, so I remember I
I
love
love
to
running.
run. I love to run.
That's
I,
awesome.
I
So,
love running.
hey, so were you on like your school track team and all?
Yes, I did a lot.
And so
100.
yeah, were you short distance or long distance?
Huh?
Were you short distance or long distance?
I did short,
Okay,
mostly
okay,
short distance.
okay. Sure enough,
Yes.
I did cross country in high school one year.
Ah, that's nice. So
Yeah, I
when you
hated
come,
it.
we're gonna run.
I'm not running no more.
Uh,
So yeah, you two, you're both growing up in Africa, Nigeria. For both of you, I want you both to answer this. How important was music when you were growing up?
ooh, I love that. I love that question. Music was the bomb. Uh, is that is that the right word to use?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
music.
definitely.
I remember I used to sing Fela song growing up because Fela song was the major jam that was playing. So everybody knew Fela song. We knew all his album from Water, from Pastor,
Zombie,
Zombie, a lot of his albums. So when the new artists started coming out, like Two Face,
whiskey.
Whiskey and all that, it was fun. And at a point, I even did music. I used to love to rap. I still have some of my rhymes. So music was huge.
She can give you some of the rap rhymes, if you want.
Okay, he used to sing. He used to sing a whole lot of boys to men. He disturbs with boys to men. What
That's
was that
hilarious.
your boys to men song that you're always singing every time?
I think is what's the song now? You know this song, darling, I can't explain.
See the smile he has with boys to men.
Those are my guys. Don't worry.
Now the Boys to Men was a good group, man. That's old school, but they were
Yeah, very
good.
good.
And so you said you were really into. What about you, Akorede? How important was music in your household growing up?
Okay, because of the kind of place I grew up, there is no really opportunity for us to listen to the good music. Yeah, we don't have the opportunity to just go inside the sitting room, play the kind of music you want to play. But I know deep down in my soul, I want to listen to something more encouraging, something that I can listen to, and my soul will be embraced. But at the point when I had the opportunity, man, I got to download different kind of music on my phone, and I could express myself the way I want, because music is life. So we all don't have choice. We just have to listen to it.
Food for the soul.
Oh, of course, food for the soul. That is so true. So you two, you two are growing up and everything. I guess let me ask you this. How I guess when do you all start to get into dancing? How does that come about?
You said?
When did
I
we
said,
start it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. When did you all start dancing?
Okay.
Let me start.
Okay, go.
Okay. For me, I started dancing professionally after my secondary. After I like 15 years back. 15 years back, but professionally is just 8 years, because the remaining years I was just using it, doing street dance, learning different kind of dance. Then at the point in time, I now made up my mind that, okay, you know what, I need to take this thing real serious, because it's really good. I'm making money while I'm on the street, but if I turn it if I make it professionally, maybe I can make more. Then I went into a dance school. I studied for 4 years, and from there I found love in salsa, Latin, and ballroom. And it became something I love so much. And from now till then, I'm still doing what I love doing. I came to dance here, yeah, because I'm not home right now.
And so, yeah. And what about you, Nneka?
Okay, so dance for me started like 10 years ago, approximately 2013. No, 2010. Yeah, 2010. So that's 10 years ago. And it was breakthrough for me because I was looking for something to do, something I can call my own. And when I stumbled on dance, at first, it was funny because where I come from, we really don't dance. Then, when you dance, I have cousins that will laugh at you and say, "Oh, come on, sit down. What are you doing? You're a terrible dancer." So I don't always dance. So I was in the salon one day making hair, and then I have this colleague of mine, and she was like, "Man, Nneka, I'm going to teach you something new today." And I was like, okay, so when I'm done. And when I finished, she started teaching me, and I was laughing throughout. It was so funny to me. It was like trying a new food. And, I was just laughing. I said, "What's this? What's this?" And she was like, "You're a bush girl. So you don't even know how to dance." That was how I stumbled into dance. And I know I didn't want to I really didn't want to be like 9 to 5 kind of worker. I wanted something different. I just knew it from the onset that I wasn't going to sit in the office like this and then sign papers and then write. I just wanted to be free like a bird, I just wanted to flow. And that's how I stumbled into dance. And I mean, it's been fun all the way, challenging though, but it's fun. It's
Awesome. That's awesome. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of people don't want to have the 9 to 5 where they
mm-hmm.
just sit all day, you know? So let me ask you this then. For both of you all, what did you all start with? Like, what was your, I guess, the first dance that you learned?
My first dance was ever. My first dance was traditional dance. It's a Nigerian traditional dance. I did that for 2 years.
What's the
You
name of
know,
it?
yeah, it's a different style of dance. It's called bata, atilogun. It has different style of name, but just in Nigerian tradition. You
Yes,
know,
our traditional kind of dance. So you have from the east, from the west,
from
from the
the south
south,
and
like
from the
that.
north, different style of dance like that.
Yes,
From Nigerian tradition.
yes.
So from there I did that for 2 years. Then one
That's
day one day we were just rehearsing and somebody just came in. He was saying, okay, there's this style of dance called salsa. I was like, okay, let me see. Then he was showing it to the girl. Since that moment, that particular day, everything changed. I had to leave where I am. I want to learn that style of dance. I don't know what it's called then, but I just want to learn it. Then and I had to go to different salsa class to pay to learn and all of that. I learned this stuff for 6 months thereabouts. I paid money to learn it. Then at the end of the day, I found out that okay, man, you can't stop here. You just have to keep doing what you're doing. Then I went into the school to learn more.
And what about you, nigga?
Okay, so I started with salsa, then
And that was back in
merengue.
2010.
Yes, 2010. Yes,
And so is that the dance you were laughing at? You were laughing at salsa.
yes, yes, yes. It was funny.
So I understand. So you said salsa and then merengue.
Yes, salsa,
Ah,
merengue, bachata.
hey. So let me ask you both this then. Going back to when you first were learning salsa,
Okay.
what was your beginner stage like?
Wow, that was too bad because there's something even as an instructor right now. I noticed that um, no matter how good you are, even as a dancer or non-dancer, you have to salsa. We have to disgrace you first before you get the movement right. I had to understand that by force as an instructor because I tried my best to break movements down to my student. Imagine me when I was learning it. It was so difficult. It was difficult because I'm a kind of slow learner. So at the time I want to get my movement right, it was difficult for me. I had to go to the class over and over again before now it now became something that is part of me. But practice make perfect.
Okay, so for me, it wasn't that difficult. It was funny. I think couple dancing for ladies, especially when you're doing the social part, it's not that difficult. Like you can easily flow into it. It becomes no, it becomes difficult when you want to take it to the professional level, especially for ladies. Yes, because ladies are the receivers, and you know they are like
They are
the
the followers.
yes, they are the followers.
Ladies are the
So
guys are the leaders.
yeah, so the ladies have to be attentive, listen, and all that. I'm a very good listener. Um, I like to pay attention, especially when I'm dealing with just an individual. So it was easy for me to flow into it. It was easy.
Okay. I definitely understand that. And I would say for you, Akorede, you said you were a slow learner, and
Yep,
I think that definitely helps you as a teacher because it helps you to relate to your new students, right?
yep.
Definitely. Yeah, I definitely understand that. So I definitely understand that. Um, I was gonna ask you a question. Shucks. Oh, I was gonna ask you a question. I'm blanking on it. So yeah, you both get into salsa and everything. And you said your beginner stage was kind of difficult. I guess how do you all meet? How does that come about? When do you all meet, and how?
Where
When and where was it? How did y'all meet? How did that come together?
two of us. Okay, you can say that.
Okay, so when I started, and salsa was like a mystery to me. So I wanted to uncover the mystery, and so I started going to classes, salsa classes, because then you have salsa in the clubs, a whole lot of clubs. So I was going to classes, and then I met someone, and then he told me, he said, "Man, there's this huge competition I want you to do." Like I said before, I'm a very good listener. So I listened, but I was doing the street salsa, the kind of salsa that is a do or die affair. You just go, to the answer, like, and you get there. So when I met the guy was that kind of person too. He was always when we dance. So when I met him, he was like, "Man, there's this competition. It's big, it's huge, and I want me and you to do it, But I want us to train more." I was like, "Okay, good, good, wow." And then we went to where he does his training, and that was where I met Korede. Because yes, apparently the guy was part of Korede's group because they have a group. They have the small salsa group, so they will come together and do steps
Training.
together, train people that people that were really interested in salsa.
Was that was
That
that
was
the Apex Dance Company?
no, it wasn't Apex Dance Company then. It
It
was
was Afro Latino.
yes,
It was called Afro Latinos. Then it later became Apex
Apex
Dance
Dance
Company.
Company.
Okay, okay, I understand. And
Hmm.
I remember my question going back to for both of you. I want you both to answer this. You said your beginner stage was intimidating. Um, could you give advice to someone who is also new to salsa? They're learning it and they're finding it a little bit difficult. What advice, what words of wisdom could you give to that beginner?
Oh, okay, for me, my advice for the beginners is no matter what you do, no matter what you see in front of you, you have to learn to listen to whosoever is standing in front of you, teaching you, irrespective of who the person is. That's one. Then two, you have to find a way to go to salsa club, salsa classes, professional one and social one. Go there, especially in the clubs. When you get there, there are different type of people that are dancing salsa that you don't even know they are very very good at it. What you just have to do is to sit down, you watch them, learn the way they move, learn, because it's always good when you sit down and watch. You can learn easily from there instead of trying to stand up to dance to show off to show yourself. Instead of doing that, you just have to sit down and watch over and over and over. Before you know it, this dance will become part of you, even without you learning it. It's become part of you. Or when, especially when you now see a teacher that is dedicated to teach you, to tell you okay what to do and not what and not what to do. You will find it easy instead of doing it the wrong way. You understand? Thank you.
Okay, so I think nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. I
Yeah.
I know that because, like I said the social salsa, social dancing is easier because anything goes for social dancing, social couple dancing, anything goes. But when it comes to the professional part of it, you have to be detailed. You have to follow the right technique. Even if you're going to go out of it, you still have to stay on it. You still have to understand it, know it well. So that is
Excuse me.
basically it. But the thing is, nothing is impossible. It may seem hard at the beginning, it may seem impossible, it may seem, oh, I can't get it, but nothing is impossible. The reality is this: if you believe you can do it and you keep confessing, I can do it, because that was what really helped me. I kept on saying, I can do it. I can do it. Even when nobody, believed that I could do it. because I didn't have the body, I did not have the look, I didn't have anything that was connected to it, and but I just kept on saying I can do it. So when I'm in class and they say, "Oh, can we do this?" and people are like, "Oh no, it's so impossible," I just say, "Yes, I can do it. Let me try it. I can do it. Yes, I'll do it." I just keep doing it, and when you keep doing something again and again, it becomes part of you. We have to do it again and again. Practice, makes perfect. If you say you really want something and you're not ready to practice it, you're not ready to keep working on it, then you really don't want it. So I think beginners should stay on it. Stay on it. I
Oh,
think
that,
I'm.
that no, that's perfect, and that's so true. Yeah, I think that's life. It's so important, like your mindset, the way you think, right?
Hmm.
That's very important. Definitely, that's definitely important. Um, I want to ask you this, because myself and a lot of people, I really didn't know that, Africa or Nigeria had professional Latin dancers. So I'm very curious to hear, going back to 2010 when you both first started dancing salsa, what was the salsa community like in Nigeria? What was that like?
Um, since 2010. Although, okay, let me start this way. There's a guy that brought salsa to Nigeria in 2004. His
Well,
name is
oh,
his name is Charles. He's a Ghanaian. He brought salsa to Nigeria. So I think ever since then, salsa has become something everybody wants to learn. You know, the dance community generally wants to learn salsa.
It was trendy.
So it was trendy. So if you're talking about now, salsa is big in Nigeria. It's very, very big. It's everywhere. It's all over the, let me say, out of 36, you will find it in, out of 36 states, you could find it in at least 26 states in Nigeria. Yeah. And right now, we are doing our Salsa Congress. West African Salsa Congress is happening in Nigeria. 9th to 14th to 17th of November. Yeah, it's happening live. So different countries are coming in to dance with us, to teach, to enjoy with us, and to do the festival with us. So salsa community is a bit big. It's good.
that's awesome. That's awesome. I had no idea that salsa was big in Nigeria, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you meet each other and you're both in this dance company, Afro Latin dance company. I want to ask this for both of y'all, and I think you kind of already answered it, Akorede, but I guess when and why did you start to take it more seriously? Was it just because you could make more money for it, or was there some other reasons? Did you fall in love with it?
Okay, for me, I've always want to do something different. I've always wanted to do some among my family. I always want to do something different. I'm the only one. I'm the only one that is into entertainment in my family. Do you understand? And it makes me special. So I've always wanted to do something different among them all. So I choose this path because I love what dance is. I love the way dancers speak with their body. I love the way they pass a message through their body without talking. So this makes me fall in love with dance. Then I have then for it to complete, God gave me a very good, fantastic partner. So I just move on with it, and I'm doing what I'm doing because I love it, and I love who I'm working with. I love the people I'm working with. So everything is working according to my good, because that's what He said. That's what God said. So for is that
Continue.
you're not serious.
So
So
then you start hitting them.
no, I can't hate them. I can't hate them. It's not possible. So for me, dance is just everything for me, and that's why even if you check well when you're doing your research, you could see that I'm a dance photographer.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so everything is just evolving around dance.
No, I understand that, man. That's awesome. That sounds like you're very blessed, man. That sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
of course. Yeah, and I'm curious. And what about you, Nneka? You know what made you start to take it seriously?
Seriously, when I made my first cheddar, then I started taking it
I
seriously.
understand. I understand that.
No, but I'm serious. Like I'm very serious.
I understand. I mean, yeah, if you can make money from it, that's awesome. You don't have to have that 9 to 5, right?
Yeah, I didn't know I could make money. So it was first, to keep fit. It was first funny, then it was cool, and then later it was to keep fit. Because when I started dancing, I just went this way. Woo! I was really tiny, so I was like, okay, it's a good way to keep fit. Then later, I was called for a job, and I was paid the same thing someone paid me for a month in a day. And I told myself, I made a vow to myself, and I said, Nneka, you have to upgrade. You have to make this your livelihood. Boom! And
That's
then I started
awesome.
pushing.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
She likes
So
she likes money a lot. She likes
I
money
understand.
Who don't
She's
like
not.
money?
She's not the only one. I tell you that. Um.
Uh-huh.
So let me ask you both this. Because it's something that I'm not very familiar with. Um, but I want you both to answer this. I'm very curious to hear about, what is it like having a dance partner? Because it's pretty much like business partners. Yeah, but what is that like though? What has that been like for you two?
Okay, what is it like to have a partner, a business partner, right?
Dance partner.
A dance partner, business partner is the same thing.
Dance partner.
Is actually for me is actually everything because she used to say partnership is like a temporary marriage. You have to you have to sometimes
Put up with the person shit.
sometimes you have to learn to understand people before you can even relate with them. I think for our partnership, the reason why is the way it is right now is because we let go of petty things that are not
Mhm.
important. And when you talk about it, and you talk about it, the main goal is what you're doing, what you what you want to achieve is that dance. What brought you together is that particular thing. So you have to achieve it. So you don't have to care about okay whatsoever the feelings are, whatsoever you're going through at that particular time. You just have to get the work done. So for me, that is the business. And at the same time, I always understand that I'm with a lady, so I don't trespass. I don't go to where I'm not supposed to go to. I have to be at that particular place she wants me to be, so that everything can go smoothly. And at the same time, she understand that I am a man, and you need to understand the place of a man. No matter what, even though there was no boyfriend and girlfriend in the game, you know. So for me, it's just understanding and lot of communication.
Yeah.
Lot of communication. You have to learn to communicate. If you don't communicate, you will just fall. But if there's a lot of communication, both of you will go as far as you want.
Okay, so having a partner is like temporarily married to that person. So basically, everything you do, you have to consult the person. Even when you want to go out, you have to tell the person, okay, this is my schedule, this is how it's going to work, and all that, because you are practically married temporarily. So you can make decisions on your own. You have to consult the next person, and you have to be in sync. So it's a lot, and it could be very challenging because imagine a young person that is not used to being married, that's not even married, and then you are partners with someone. So you find yourself fighting with the person, quarreling with the person. then you're doing a routine and the person is telling you, okay, I want you to go like, and you say, no, don't tell me what to do. This is what I want to do. And and
Mhm.
lot because I know I did that, so I can tell you from experience. I did that. So sometimes he will tell me, okay, we are going like this. I'll say, no, 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 no. I don't like it. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes he does something, I'm like, no, 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 no. It's not. Where's the groove? You just. So it's a lot, but you have to meet at the center. Because I remember when we just started our partnership, he used to talk to me a lot. He would sit me down and talk to me and say, no, you can't do this. You have to relax. You have to. We had series of sections just to understand how to communicate properly. And we still try to do it because communication is very, very key. Immediately you misunderstand the next person or you're not getting the message, your feedback could be very negative because you don't understand what the next person is saying. So you're like, oh no, 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 I don't care, I don't want, so you're just giving the next person all the negative vibes. So communication is really key, trying to understand the person. For instance, understanding comes in this way. I'm a very fast learner. You could put something now and I go boom, 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 boom. And because of the kind of person I am, I like rule to the answer sometimes. I just like to be there. If I'm not there, I feel like, oh no, I have to be there, 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 there. So it's just me. But he likes to take his time. So in my mind, I'm like, move, 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 move. We got no time. And it's like, relax. I have to take my time. If you rush me, I'm not going to get it. So this was like a major issue because I used to get angry, like you have to move, and it's like. So one time he told me, he said, you have to relax because, you know, I'm not a fast learner, but just relax, relax. I will get it eventually. And the thing is, when I get it first, the next minute it goes up. But when he gets it later, he stays and he doesn't forget it. So, two different people trying to understand their strength and weakness and trying to balance it. That's the whole idea.
No, I understand what you're saying, and I can understand how that could be challenging. It could be very challenging. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you two you link up and you join that dance school. I'm very curious to hear from both of you. What was it like? What did you learn from that Afro Latin dance school? What did it teach you? What did you learn from that experience?
Actually, it's not an Afro-Latin dance school. It's a performing arts school where they do dance, music, and art. So there's dance department. So that was where we came from. This the dance school. The performing arts is called Society
Society
for
for
the
the
Performing
Performing
Arts
Arts
in
in
Nigeria.
Nigeria. SPAN.
SPAN is owned by Sarah Bullos. So
Lebanese.
is a Lebanese lady that owns it, and is the best.
Best.
Is one of the best in
Yeah,
Nigeria. Is even the best. Is not one of.
she's very supportive and she's supporting a whole lot of Nigerians that are interested in performing arts.
So the school was very very supportive, a lot in terms of in terms of the dance aspect, the administrative training towards where maybe okay you want to start your own business, we'll do all those kind of trainings too. So it helps in how to manage yourself generally, not just the dance thing. But the good thing about the school is when you go out there to dance, people will know that you came from this place. Yes, people know people in Nigeria. If you come to Nigeria right now and you see some set of dancers, and when you ask people, if you ask people that okay, where are these people from? They will tell. If they tell you span, you should know that these are the people I'm talking about. That's grace follow the students because of the way they teach people there. And the funniest thing is even Nigerians that are training people there is Nigerians, but maybe
Maybe
during the summer period
They
During
bring
your holiday period, they bring in
to come train.
professional dancers
Yeah.
to come train us. So we had a lot of different dance
Professional touch.
celebrities, professional touch, and sometimes they will take you out of the country if you're lucky, take you out of the country to go train, like 2 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, like that. At least we've had the privilege of going to different countries, like 2 or 3 countries to train
That's
and
awesome.
intensive matter.
Yeah.
So that's
Really
it.
cool. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. I'm very curious. So you joined you joined that dance school, that dance company. Um, I guess why and when? What made you decide to start teaching yourselves, or teaching other students? What brought that about?
Okay, I would say for me, the mentality is always there to give back to the community. No matter where you go to, no matter where you're coming from, you just have to remember that there are people, there are kids like you on the street that want to become something in future, that want to learn, that want to have the opportunity to learn, but they don't have money to train. They don't have money to use for transportation to go to the class. So you just have to look for a way to give back. So there is a dance school in our community where we stay. So we just went to meet them. Okay, we can be teaching your students, and that was how we became an instructor in the school. And it's a school, is another school in Nigeria too. It's another
Okay.
dance school.
So the thing about
Speak up.
giving back is it helps to empower other people. A lot of people on the streets, a lot of people that need that same opportunity. I know where I'm coming from, and I know how much I've been empowered. I know how much my life has changed because I am a dancer. I know I am better off because of the decision I made to dance. Dance doesn't just give you the skills of just dance, it empowers you and it pushes you
The hedge.
to another limit, to different limits. It tests you, like you become a new person. It's like, when you get gold and then you transform it, when you have raw gold and then you put it through the process and then it comes out in its pure form. That's what it is. Because I've seen a whole lot of people come out from the street, people that have been involved in theft, in different acts, when they come into dance, and then, you know, they just become reborn. They become new because they see something that they did not see before. So dance is, yeah, it's transformation because I have seen it happen with people. I have seen people with, nothing, and then when they start dancing, they accumulate a whole lot. I remember a child I was teaching one time, and then the mother told me, she said, this my daughter doesn't want to focus on anything. She wants to do a beat and go, a beat and go, a beat and go. But when she started dancing, I realized she stayed on it. She felt like, oh, I could hold on to this. Because I don't know, there's just something about dance that when you give it to someone, there's this transformation that you cannot explain. I'm not saying it because sometimes when you think about how dancers are treated or how, you know, a lot of things happen in dance, you just feel like, no, I'm not a dancer. Because sometimes I say, when people say dancers, I just say, I'm an artist. I don't know which artist. But the thing is, dance is special. I can explain it, but it's transformation. It's a lot. It gives you a voice. It's like voice that you've never had, so you have it, and then it gives you money too. It helps you become independent. You become an entrepreneur because now you are providing a service and people are paying you for it. And then the more you sharpen your skills and become better, the more people pay you more for it. So it's just it's just so cool.
Yeah, no, definitely, and I understand that. I definitely understand that. So you both said you wanted to give back to the community. I'm very curious to hear. Tell me about your first year teaching. What was it like learning to teach? Because dancing and teaching are two different skills, right? So what was it like learning to teach?
Okay, so I started with kids. My mom is a teacher before she started a petty trade, so she used to teach. She loved to teach because I don't know. She started from the Sunday school class in church, and then from there she started teaching in a school. So my dad too used to teach before he started his bank work. He was a teacher, so we're a family of teachers. So we practically understand teaching. So teaching for me was just natural because I taught children too. So it was easy, but teaching children is a lot though. But like I said, with children, it's tough when you teach children. You just need to get to their level, go down to their level, understand them. But for the teenagers or adults, you just have to deal with late coming. Um, then most of them lose focus. Like you give them an assignment and they don't deliver. They just tell you, "Oh, yeah, I was doing it. I forgot it at home." Different excuses. So that's what you have to deal with. Then you have to deal with a whole lot of excuses of, "Oh, I'm coming very far." Excuses of, "Oh, I have family problems. So those are the major things you deal with when you teach people like this.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Challenges for him, I think his students don't get it. You just keep drumming it into their head.
Oh,
So
Okay, for me, because of where I'm coming from, and because of the way I learn, I believe that students are it's always difficult for them to get things right, especially the age range that I'm teaching right now. So what I do is, instead of me teaching something and at the end of the day they don't understand it, I make sure that that particular thing I'm teaching, I stock it in their brain. I teach it over and over,
shoot it in their brain.
over and over, over and over, before they. The more you do it, the more they become part of it. And if I develop, okay, I develop a new technique to, okay, this is what you are doing today, and I get immediately, for me to make that thing stay, I give them an assignment, and if they do, because I notice that students love my class. I don't know why, but they love my class. You understand? And I feel, because the reason why they love the class is because after the class I always encourage them, give
So
them
we
word
don't encourage them.
I give them words of encouragement. I take care of them with my words, and I make sure that, okay, I let them know that, okay, everything will be fine. I share my story with them. I let them know, okay, this is where I'm coming from. This is where I am today. And you can come from this same place and land in a better place tomorrow. So I make sure that I share the story over and over again. You know, I started training large number of people in 2017. So that after my training, we did a lot of personal training together, and I just say, okay, let us give back to these people. It's now time. Then they call us to come and teach, and we want to teach, and since then till date, I don't think I've regretted that decision. That decision has been one of the best decision in my life. And today I see a lot of people that I've trained, and I'm so happy that, okay, I'm the one that passed this knowledge to these people. Even though I'm no more training them again, I know that, okay, these people have become something because I'm opportune to give it to them, you know and that's the way I'm also grateful to my teachers. Thank you.
nah, yeah, of course. That's I think they call like the burden of knowledge. Is that you have to pass it down to somebody. You have to teach it. So I
Yeah.
I I understand that. I definitely do. I'm very curious to hear from both of you all. Since you all are professional dancers, is the professional dancer field, is it something that is very competitive? Is it highly competitive?
um At the point in time, it was because there was a competition called IDO, International Dance Organization. It's from Italy. So they brought this dance competition. They call it IDO. So, especially for the salsa community, everybody was competing and all of that. They want to win something. They want to become a champion. They did it like 4, 5 editions, and we won it 2 times. And it's always difficult for people to put themselves together to see this person as a competition. Some doesn't see us as a competition, but some see us as a competition. But when we meet on the stage to deliver what we have to deliver, you will tell yourself, it's within you. These people, they are bad. They are badass dancers. You will tell yourself. So the competition is actually within you. You won't be able to say it out, but you will just keep it within yourself. That, man, I can't stand these people. And the thing about me is, if I see somebody that is better than me, I try my best to embrace that person and see, okay, how I can learn from that person and learn what I'm not doing that the person is doing. You know. So I have to get close to the person, become the person's friend. And internally the person has become my competition. But I am not fighting the person because he knows how to do what he's doing. He or she knows how to do what he's doing. But rather, the person become my friend, and we do,
Externally.
you're not serious. We do this thing together, and we become best together. That's my own mentality, and I feel that if everybody is doing that in Nigeria, maybe Nigeria will be a better place for dancers. But there's a lot of hate because you're better.
It's everywhere. But the thing is, now it's not competitive again, because before we used to have competitions. So because of the competitions we had, a lot of people were ready to train, a lot of people were ready to dive into those competitions and make impact. But now, because there are no competitions, so, and because of the new age technology, because of social media, so a lot of people just want to put their things online.
Instead
They
of
just
coming
want
to
to
competition.
promote themselves. They just want to go into challenges and win money or items. So nobody's interested in training, or nobody's interested in competitions, or nobody's competing with nobody again now. So everybody's just, oh, we are online, we are very visible, people are seeing us, people are liking us. We have 20,000 followers. Oh god, this is the latest move, it's dope, let's make it trendy. This is what is trending. So that's basically what's happening now. So, and the community here for dance is very, it's not too wide. It's very small. The community is really very small. So if we bring all the dancers together basically know each other. We know each other. So it's a very small community. So we are not scattered like that. You can actually gather everybody and say, okay, this is what we have. So there's no competition. No, nobody's competing with anybody. It's just there, because even the reality is now, because social media has taken over a lot of things. Even when people contract you to come do a job, and you tell them, oh, I don't want this, they just bring someone that is trendy, someone that is online, someone that doesn't know jack about dance, someone that is probably just rolling his handkerchief up, and then people are like, oh my god, this guy is good. They will bring him, and he will do just rolling his handkerchief, and everybody be screaming. For you work your body, you put your body in shape just to do a particular routine, and nobody's even giving you any like online. People are like, oh, it's too serious, we can't even learn it. Like, I'm saying you should learn it, I'm saying this is what I do. So that's basically what's happening now.
So, and for me, I noticed that it is there's no competition again. So we're planning to design something for the young people that are coming up, that are training professionally right now, to use it to encourage them, because that was how we ourselves was so encouraged because there's something that we're always going for every year. So we're planning to bring up a dance competition, like two different dance competition, but salsa is part of it, contemporary is part of it.
Yes, sir.
So we're planning to bring it up to see how we can, involve one or two people that will help us with sponsorship and all of that, and we we put it out there so that people can actually register for it and compete
Yeah,
and
just to
help
keep
each other.
the vibe going.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. That sounds like a wonderful idea. Um, so I guess I really want to try and like maybe give value to somebody who may be listening, to some listeners out there. So let me ask you this. We've already talked about beginners, but let me ask you this: for someone who is an intermediate in a dance, and they want to get to that advanced level, what does it take for them to get to that next level?
Okay. Wow, that's a very tricky question.
Oh, it's tricky.
Okay, let me answer it. For somebody that is an intermediate and you want to get to that advanced stage, it's very simple. If you let me say your teacher is intermediate, the present teacher that is taking you is intermediate, and you've learned everything that you want to learn from him, move on to the next person. Look for another teacher that is better than that teacher, that can teach you better, that can take you to the advanced stage, which is what I did. Remember, there was a guy that taught me salsa, and I noticed that, okay, I want to move on with my dance, I need to get better with this dance. Then I moved to the dance school. In the dance school, I had somebody that was teaching me different style of dance, and we're learning it over and over. That my teacher there is far better than the one that taught me salsa, you know but I didn't forget him. He's inside my CV that he taught me salsa. You understand? So it's like that. So the young people that want to become a professional, that want to get to advanced level in salsa or in any style of dance at all, you just have to move on. Once you've learned what you want to learn in your intermediate step, and sometimes it's always good when curriculum is presented, like you're paying for your class and your teachers give you your curriculum. This is your curriculum for the term. You have 3 terms with me, these are your curriculum. You finish the curriculum, you can dance the curriculum itself. Then from there, you move on to the next person. Advanced stage, when you get to that advanced stage, you will present the same this thing. Because sometimes most instructors, they don't get to advance. They just do what they want to do. Beginners, intermediate, and they are there. You know.
I
Okay.
understand that. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I definitely understand that. Um, Real quick, when I for both of you, I want you both to answer this. Um, can you both give me one tip that can make anyone a better dancer immediately?
One tip.
Woo! One tip, one tip, one tip. They can make you a better dancer immediately, like now, 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 now. No, 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 no. I think one tip that can make you a better dancer immediately. Practice, practice, practice. So you get a step, you practice, practice, practice. For instance, I love hip hop, but when I started dancing, I started with salsa. So when I got to the dance school, a lot of people were like, "Oh, okay, you just know salsa." So I was on one side, and then we had a whole lot of good dancers that were doing different things. But I just knew salsa, and I needed to move to another level. So I think what helped me was practice, practice, practice. Most of the stars that I was presented with, I didn't know jack about those stars, but we had to stay extra hours to practice it, review the step, look into it, you know, and before you knew it, we became better. It's the same thing too with hip hop. I love hip hop. God, I love hip hop. and I think I love hip hop. It's just fun. So now I don't think like I can really do hip hop, but because of the love I have for hip hop, when I practice it, I put my all into it. When someone is doing it from here, and when the person is just like this, I just put everything, and people are like, wow, you do you do hip hop? Man, I don't do hip hop. Oh, I love hip hop. So when I practice it, I just put my all into it. So I think practice,
Yeah.
continuous practice.
Yeah, that's always important. That's always important.
Yeah, it's the same thing I want to say. Practice, because without practice, without you practicing, no matter what you're doing, you are wedding things together, you are repairing radio, you are making phones, you have to practice. Before Bill Gates get to where he got to, he practiced those things. So practice is just the key word. Once you have somebody that is taking you, that is teaching you every day, the key word is you practice, do your personal training on your own without the person.
Wait, wait. Okay, let me give you an example. I was going through my Instagram today, and then I saw an old choreography I did, and so I was looking at the dancers that were doing it, and then I saw one particular one. The guy used to be a very terrible dancer. God, I remember he was even at the back. So when I saw the video and I saw him, I was like, Jesus, is this not this boy? Because I saw him dance recently, and in my mind I was like, wow. The funny part, this guy was in front recently. He was doing a piece, and people were screaming. Even me, I had to stand up. I was like, God, that's the magic of dance. Even as a dancer, I see dances and I stand up and I'm like, oh my God, this is it. So I think one major thing one major attitude we don't have is training. We don't have this culture of training. Yeah, we just feel like, oh, I've gotten there. But the thing is, in life, we are all learners. So we keep learning, relearning, learning, relearning, So I think practice, practice, stay on it. Don't let it go. Just stay on it. That's the key thing. Because
Yeah.
when you practice something continuously, it becomes a part of you. So even when they wake you up and they say do it, you just do it naturally because it's a part of you. So practice is just it.
Yeah, no, that's very, very true. Very, very true. Um, so yeah, I think at this point, I really I wanna thank you both, so much for taking time out today to talk to me.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Definitely, definitely. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I want to ask you this question real quick. So last couple of questions, what are some of your upcoming events? What do you have going on in your life?
Okay.
Okay, for this, oh my God, he's so much for this period. This is like this
No, it's same
is it? Uh,
things we'll be doing, like projects and all
wait, are you talking about projects, different projects that we're doing?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
coming up.
This is a chance. Yeah, a chance like to plug everything you have coming up. Definitely to
Yeah.
advertise it, market it.
Okay. Like on we have a pigeon
concerts.
festival, a pigeon concert. We're dancing there in the pigeon. We did it like a few months back. So they are doing it again. I think they are doing up to 17 shows. So that's one. Then two, we have a West African Salsa Festival, and we are doing our own production. Like that's
Blackout.
Blackout. It's called Blackout. You see it if you check Apex Dance Company. You see it on the page. It's called Blackout. It's coming up in. We are doing it in on the 17th, on the 22, and on the
14th of
14th of
December.
December. So that's our own personal stuff. Then in February we are doing our personal event, Korean Nneka. We're doing our personal dance production where we are talking about dance, where we are doing dance production, different stories put together, and it's going to be awesome. So that's what we have for now. And anyway, I was saying it. I was telling her the other day that I'm looking for like an international competition where we can represent Nigeria, where we can register and represent Nigeria. I was saying it. So I don't know if you know one. Just let me know. We can register for it because there's a lot of competitions, but they don't. They will say, okay, foreigners are not allowed. So I don't know.
Now I understand. I definitely understand that. And if I do find anything, I would definitely let you know.
All right,
Um,
no problem.
hey, let me ask you both this question real quick. How can people get in contact with you? How can they reach out to you?
Okay, our number, information is on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook. We have our details there, and our numbers are there. Our emails are there, so they can get through to us. And very soon, we're launching our website. So our website is coming up like in a month's time. It should be ready.
So on Instagram is Korean Nneka at Korean Nneka.
On Twitter is at Nneka. On Facebook, Nneka. So everything Nneka. Even if you want to Skype with us, it's Nneka. I just opened that today because of you.
Hey, 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 hey,
You
hey.
know,
So, so
don't
when I
worry.
when I upload this, I'm gonna make sure I plug all your social media handles and all that, so people can find you.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, hey. So yeah, like I said, I want to thank you both so much for taking the time to talk to me. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much. We are happy for this interview. Thank you
Hey,
so
hey,
much.
of
Thank you.
course, of
Don't worry,
course.
we share
Yeah,
it. We share it. We share it on our social media.
please,
Thank
please,
you so
yeah.
much.
And the next time I'm in Nigeria, I'm gonna make sure we link up. And we're gonna play some ping
Okay.
pong, some
You want
table
to come
tennis,
to you
man.
come to Nigeria before?
I have not come though. So the next time I do come though, when I do come,
Okay, okay, okay.
We're a Nigerian boy now.
You look like a Nigerian.
if you want to be honest, man, I'm actually 44% Nigerian, man.
You said?
Ah.
I'm actually like 44% Nigerian.
Ah.
I
44.
did one of those like little, you know those little spit tests you do, 21 and
Yeah.
me. Yeah, they said I was 44% Nigerian. I was quite surprised.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, man.
Well, actually, you look like a Nigerian.
If
You
you
lie,
say
don't
so,
mind me.
if you say so, man.
All right, bro.
Hey, yes, like I said, thank you so much, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day, all right?
Yeah, you
Thank you,
too.
and you too.
Hey,
All right.
hey, hey, hey.
All right, so hey everyone. If you made it this far to the end of the video, I want to thank you so much for just watching this. I really hope that you found value in this. My whole goal in this endeavor is to give a voice to people, to dancers, and to give value to the dance community. So if I'm not giving value, it's kind of pointless. So I strongly urge you to please comment and let me know where I can improve, what I need to do better, what I'm doing wrong, and hopefully what I'm doing right. But my overall goal is I want to give content. I want to be helpful. So please let me know where I can improve upon. I'm new to all this, so I'm learning as I go. So I need like feedback. Please comment and just let me know how I can improve. I would greatly appreciate that. That means the world to me just to be able to interact with you all, have a conversation with you and just, see what you like and what you don't like. That means the world to me. I love interacting with you all. It means so much to me. But yeah, thank you so much for making it this far into the video. I gotta say, please leave a like, subscribe. If you don't like it, then let me know why not. Hit the down like button, hit the unlike button. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.